Welcome to The Explainer. So, you're an aspiring entrepreneur here in India. Perfect. You're in the right place. Today, we're going to take that complex, tangled maze of starting a business and turn it into a simple step-by-step roadmap.
You've got it, right? That one brilliant idea. But then, the questions start piling up. What about funding and the paperwork, all those rules? If it all feels a bit overwhelming, you are definitely not alone. But stick with me here, because the path forward is a whole lot clearer than you might think.
All right, let's just dive right in. Think of this as your personal roadmap. We're going to go step by step, demystify this whole process, and show you exactly how to take your business from just a thought to a full-blown launch, right here in India.
Okay, Section 1, finding your business idea. We're calling this the spark. Every great venture starts with an idea. But here's the really good news. It doesn't have to be some billion-dollar world-changing concept right out of the gate. Let's look at what's actually possible with a pretty small amount of capital.
This is what I call the 2 lakh mindset. You really don't need crores to get started. The absolute key is smart allocation. So, instead of dreaming about a fancy office, think about low overhead services, or maybe micro-manufacturing with high local demand. Or you could go with the digital-first model, where your creativity is your main asset. It's all about making every single rupee count.
Now, have a look at this. What's so interesting here is just how accessible these ventures are. We're talking about ideas from sources like StartupHyper and Kavri, and they prove you just don't need a fortune to start. A pickle-making business? You can get that off the ground with as little as 10,000 rupees. The key isn't the size of the investment, it's the size of the local demand.
Okay, so you've got the idea. Now for the next big question, and it's always about the money, isn't it? It's the biggest hurdle for so many people. But here's something you might not know. There's this massive ecosystem of government support out there, and it's specifically designed to fuel your dream.
But what kind of support are we actually talking about? Well, it's not just about walking into a bank and asking for a traditional loan. The government offers a whole range of support. We're talking grants, subsidies, special schemes. Let's break down the 2 main types you really need to know about.
So, this is absolutely crucial to understand. First, you have a grant. Think of it as financial aid you don't have to repay. It's often for a very specific goal, like building a prototype. Then you have a loan with a subsidy. Now, you do have to repay the loan, but the government steps in and pays for a portion of it, which really reduces your burden. It's a huge help.
And just look at how this covers every single stage of a startup's journey. You've got idea stage grants to turn a concept into a prototype, then productization grants to get that prototype ready for the market, seed loans to get your operations running, and subsidies to make borrowing cheaper. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. There are different pathways for support.
And this picture, it brilliantly illustrates the focus on inclusivity. Take the Kerala Startup Mission, for example. They offer a women productization grant of up to 5 lakh rupees. And get this, that's on top of other grants that are available. It's that kind of targeted support that can make a massive difference.
Now let's zoom out and talk about one of the most powerful national schemes out there, the Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, or PMEGP. This program is a real game changer. It helps people set up brand new micro-enterprises in both manufacturing and services by giving them a huge subsidy on their bank loans. And this number? 35%. This is what I mean by a game changer. Under the PMEGP, if you fall into a special category, which includes women, and you're starting a business in a rural area, the government provides a subsidy of up to 35% of your total project cost. And your own contribution? It's just 5%. That's incredible.
All right, let's tackle the part that, let's be honest, often seems the most intimidating, the whole world of registration and taxes. But don't you worry, we're going to simplify it and make sure you get the foundation right.
Okay, so for most small businesses just starting out, this is probably the easiest way to go. A sole proprietorship. It's exactly what it sounds like. A business run by one person. You have complete control, decisions happen fast, and the compliance stuff is pretty minimal. It's just you and your business, one and the same.
And when you break it down into steps like this, it suddenly looks manageable, doesn't it? You start with the basics, a PAN card, a business bank account. Then you move on to things like your state license and maybe that MSME or UDIAM registration, which, by the way, can unlock even more government benefits. See? It's not one giant mountain you have to climb. It's just a series of small, achievable hills.
So, the big question, do I need to register for GST? This is one of the most common things new entrepreneurs ask, and thankfully, the answer is pretty straightforward. It all comes down to your annual turnover.
And here you go, a clear-cut answer. If you're selling goods, that magic number is 40 lakh rupees in annual turnover. If you're providing services, it's 20 lakh. As long as you stay below those limits, GST registration is not mandatory. And that right there simplifies your life in a big way, letting you focus on what really matters, growing your business.
Okay, so let's recap. You have the idea, you know how to get it funded, you understand the basic rules, you literally have the map in your hands. But what's that one final thing that actually gets the engine started? What takes you from just planning to actually doing?
This line from StartupHyper just says it all, doesn't it? Your dream business is only a decision away. All the planning, all the research, it's absolutely crucial. But the journey itself, it really begins with that single decisive step forward.
So the real question is for you, what's the first step you'll take? Are you going to research your local market? Maybe draft a simple budget? Or maybe explore one of those government schemes we talked about today? The roadmap is right here, in your hands. The only thing left to ask is, what's that one small step you're going to take tomorrow?